the thought is that they're going to end up taking Dylan Harper here, right? We talked about this a little bit before the draft started, but RC, the biggest question I have is that you're looking at this team and you got a guy in Victor Wembanyama who you want to put a bunch of people that can get to the basket and drivers and shooters and spacers around him, because the whole idea is you got this 7'4" elite rim protector that is also a floor spacer to be able to you can get to the basket when he pulls centers away. You got Steph Castle there as well, the reigning rookie of the year, who can't really shoot. And we saw this happen a little bit when he was at UConn, where people didn't guard him and just kind of said, all right, we're going to put our 5 on him. We're going to have our body in front of the rim. And it kind of takes away from the advantage that you get with the spacing with Victor Wembanyama. How does it work? De'Aaron Fox, potentially Dylan Harper here, Steph Castle, Victor Wembanyama. Is there an answer here that makes sense? Or is this just take as many talented guys as you can get, and if you got to trade them and package them and try to find a different fit later on, you just find a different fit later on?
You do what San Antonio does. You draft and develop, right? And that's what that organization is about. And I like I've said this before, I think it's the most stable franchise in the NBA and has been for the last 20, 25 years. So you've got a nucleus. You've got the unicorn, right? You got the one-on-one. Now you're just trying to find pieces to come in. Dylan Harper's coming in. He's going to be, unlike most of these guys, he's NBA body ready. He's more of a scorer than shooter, but he can come in now and you can slide, Fox off the ball and just let him stay in attack mode when needed. So there's so many options I think that they have with that. He's another, secondary ball handler as well. They've got guards with Val, so there's so many other guys that they have. But again, shooting, they'll probably pick that up with veteran pieces and things of that nature. But I don't know if you want to pass on a talent like him. If they did, I thought if there was a veteran guy that they wanted, that they felt like fit what they were doing, then this could have been a trade pick with the pieces again. But again, they got Stephen Castle there. Having another guard that can also initiate and run your point, isn't a bad idea. And we all know what the ability of Dylan Harper is and what he can be.
Is he obviously Henson the second best player in this draft? Like, is he? Yeah. Everyone has kind of put him there. Do you think he deserves that?
I think he is now. I think before the season, we were all thinking that it was Cooper Flagg and it was Ace Bailey. That was the conversation everybody was talking about. Now, if those things had lived up to, if Ace Bailey was without all these distractions and everything else, and he had that type of season, position-wise, I thought he would be more of a fit to San Antonio than Dylan Harper, but you can't question who had the better year and who's physically ready to help you right now. I think it's no question it's Dylan Harper of those two.
Yeah, Henson?
Yeah, 6'5" with shoes on. He's got size. And like you said, if you're San Antonio, you can roll that ball and figure it out. If he's good enough, he'll contribute, he'll play. And, you're going to have to pay. Like, that's just how it goes. And, I remember just turning to a Rutgers game, didn't really, never seen the guys play like that. And I was like, immediately I'm like, wait, Ace Bailey, like Harper's the guy, right? And so he led that team all year. He was the guy. And I think he's going to be fine in San Antonio. Like RC said, they're such a stable organization, man. You don't see too many guys go there that are talented enough on the court and have the intangibles off the court falter. And I think he's the next big time player for them. And, with all these injuries and things going on, man, you just never know, right? So you have to make sure you have talent to continue to maximize Wembanyama's window, because you're going to have to pay this kid $100 million a year, kind of with the new deals going with the new salary cap. So, you better see what you got before he signs that dotted line. So I love this position the Spurs are in.
Yeah. Goodman?
Yeah, I think he's got the highest floor. I think that's the one thing about Dylan Harper. I don't think, obviously Cooper Flagg's got the highest floor, but after that, you trust Dylan Harper. Kind of like I trusted Cade Cunningham. I don't think he's going to be as good, but I think he can be in that mold a little bit of kind of a bigger guard who's not really a true point, but has good instincts, good intangibles, knows how to win. I know that's tough to say after last year at Rutgers, but, he's a winning player. You can tell he played through a lot of injuries last year as well. So I like the pick. I don't think you could pass up on him, even though the fit might not be ideal today for San Antonio. They can certainly trade Steph Castle after the Rookie of the Year performance last year. And, if they want to wait a couple months and see what they have in Dylan Harper, That's what I would do if I'm them.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you negotiating leverage too, right? If the Fox don't want to take his money, they've got Harper. It gives you a little leverage too as the Spurs too. So they're in a good spot.
Yeah,
they're in a great spot.
You said you don't know if he'll be as good as Cade Cunningham. I think that he will be. Maybe I'm too high on Dylan Harper here.
Really good.
I think he's got a chance to be like an all NBA caliber player at some point in his career as well. Just look at the way these kind of jumbo creators are having success right now, right? The guys like an SGA or a Tyrese Halliburton, and you could put Cade Cunningham in that same conversation. Players that you can put in ball screens and players that know how to use their strength and take advantage of it. I think there's a little bit of Jalen Brunson in his game too, in terms of how well he can kind of use his body to create space and separate. I think he's got a chance to be that level of a player. And I don't know if it's definitely going to happen, but I think he's got the potential to be.
Cade is 6'8", 220. Could play small forward, like
a lot bigger.
I think he'll get there, and he'll get there quicker because he doesn't have. Cade Cunningham had to pull it up through the mud. No one made the game necessarily easy for him to do it. Harper's going into a situation with a bunch of guys already. De'Aaron Fox can go. He's got the unicorn with him. He's got the other rookie of the year with him. Like, he's coming into his situation isn't as good as Cooper Flagg's, but it's second, and then it's pretty damn good. I think he's going to be a stud, man, in the sense of he doesn't have too much pressure and responsibility other than to come in and just do his job.
You got me thinking about it now. I'm going to bring up the Detroit Pistons roster from 2021-22, and I'm just going to read off some of the names here. We got Hamidou Diallo, we got Carson Edwards, Jeremy Grant, Killian Hayes, Frank Jackson, Corey Joseph, Isaiah Livers, Kelly Olynyk, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey. You're telling me that you think that the Spurs with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle is better than what I just listed right there? Randolph? I don't know, man.
And I got traded.
It's a coin flip route. That's what you're telling me.
I was in Detroit right before that, and let me tell you, it was a dumpster fire out there. Shout out to Cade getting through that.
Oh my God.